Serious, what secret could ruin your life? A while back, I was cheating on my wife with a coworker. It went on for months. And I never really cared for the woman I was cheating with. She was super hot. Though. After a while my coworker started getting really crazy and threatening to tell my wife, whom I had a child with and a baby on the way, about everything. Obviously. I kept trying to cut things off because I realized I was making a mistake. She lost it one night and was freaking out and texting me telling me she was going to come to my house. And a drunk driver hit her. She died instantly. No one knows I was having an affair. And my family went to her funeral. Edit, oh man. Sorry Reddit for answering the question honestly. Next time I'll remember to keep this to myself. Also thanks for the gold. Edit. Shout out to all the people who think I should have died instead. And are encouraging me to go ahead and tell the one secret that would ruin my life. This secret is a bad one. When I was 15 and incredibly lonely one summer I decided to make an Cupid account. For those of you who don't know, that's a dating website for people 18 plus. I looked probably about 17 at the time, but I guess I could pass for 18. So I said I was 18 on my account. I got a lot of responses from guys instantly. There was this one that stood out to me. His name was James. He was a 22-year-old college student working at Tim Hortons. But me at 15 thought he was the most intelligent and beautiful person I've ever met. We talked for 3 months and then he turned 23. Now the age gap was 8 years. After those 3 summer months of staying up all night we decided to meet up in person. It was Labor Day weekend when we met up. He picked me up from a gas station and drove me to his house. We lived 3 hours away and I told him that my car didn't work, but really I only had my permit and no car. I honestly think I fell in love with him and we hit it off completely. He was really attractive and different from guys my age. Guys my age would make fun of how I looked because they were insecure themselves and tease me a lot when they were interested in me. Which just confused me. But James would compliment me and joke with me but never made me feel insecure. I really loved him. But when the relationship progressed he was talking about having sex and I told him that I was a virgin, which he was okay with. But after I turned 16 I realized that he was a 23-year-old man who could get in a lot of trouble if he was to sleep with me. I never told him my age because I knew he'd be disgusted with himself, so I just cut all ties with him all day. I figured it was selfish to keep him around. He needed somebody who could be 100% honest with him. So in March I basically blocked him on all social media and my phone. He didn't know where I lived, and I never saw or spoke to him again. It's been 2 years but I sometimes stalk his Facebook. He's actually engaged now and graduated college. I'm so happy that everything is going well for him. I'm only 18 now, but I hope one day I'll find a guy who is as great as James. TLDR. I made an account on a dating website at 15 and formed a long relationship with a man who was 23, lying to him about my age. Edit, guys. If I told him about my age he'd be disgusted with himself. I was 15 at the time. I get paid a 6-figure salary for a standard 40-hour-a-week corporate job for a massive well-known company. In a given week I do maybe an hour of actual work. The rest of the time I am on Reddit or YouTube slacking off. I thought when I got this job that eventually someone would figure out I don't do anything all day, but here I am 14 years later still doing duck all and getting paid a lot for it. About 18 months ago I was watching the movie Yes Man and decided I'd say yes to everything for 24 hours. I ended up taking an ecstasy pill in the city. Then this woman said let's go do drugs and I ended up buying and trying meth. It was in a crack house that was legitimately 10 meters across the road from the police station in the city's worst suburb. I then went to the casino and blew $1,000. Let's just say that watching Yes Man is a good way of getting yourself out of a rut. I'm roughly 5 years into a relationship and still have no idea if I want to marry the girl. This was me last year. 5 years in she wanted to get engaged. She said I was the one. I wasn't sure. Because she was the only girlfriend I'd ever had. So I pushed her to pursue her career while I traveled. By the time I came home 8 months later I was ready to settle down. But it was too late. She had found happiness in another guy. I haven't heard her voice in over 4 months. I miss my best friend. I joined a job that is known for being absolutely miserable and a good chance of me getting killed. I love it. I was suicidal as a teenager and I gave up, knowing I couldn't heal myself. Now I have a good chance of dying without me having to do anything. And to add to the goods, my family would get a whole lot of life insurance money if I got killed. So I could do them a lot of good becoming a corpse. If word ever got out, I'd be in a lot of trouble and probably pulled. I don't want it. I need this edge or else I fall into a horrible depression. I need the challenge and risk. Edit, for those who guessed. Yes, I am military. Okay. So my family are super religious. Especially my mother. She wants me to be religious too. But I've become a bit disillusioned with religion. I know this would heal her. Simply for the fact that she's a refugee and her reliance on a higher power has gotten her through all of her struggles and strife without even a lick of PTSD. She's a single mother also and I just admire her so much getting to where she has without any help. I just don't think I'd ever tell her that I haven't been praying 5 times a day or even thinking about God in any way. It would heal her. Huh. I guess. The last good thread like this started 5 years ago today. So. I am 19. I am gay. My parents are very conservative Catholics and would disown me if they found out. Not only that, I have had oral and penetrative sex with several men. Most of my town are Orthodox Christians and would ruin my life if my secret ever got out. The issue is, my voice is changing. And now I sound like a gay person and cannot stop it. Hope this gets buried. Finding out that I have a mental disability and my whole life people have hidden it from me, treated me the same as if I was normal. Wow. This is actually my biggest fear. That I'm actually a bit mental and the fam just plays it off like no big deal. Let's make him feel normal to fit in. Am I actually special? TL. Doctor, I healed my family. One night about a decade ago. When I was 8 years old. I couldn't sleep at night so I was just walking around the house. Looking for something to do. It was winter. So there was fire in the fireplace. I started playing with it. Throwing stuff into it. Watching how it burns. At one point, a big log rolled out of the fireplace. As a kid, I started to panic. I tried to cover it with a blanket. Then ran out to the kitchen to get some water. When I came back, the whole living room was on fire. It was a wooden house. I was terrified. Ran out of the house. Literally within a minute. It was burning like crazy. My older sister, younger brother, and mom who was pregnant at the time. All died instantly. Dad was working a night shift. No one really questioned me. My room had window. And I said I left through it when I saw the fire. The real cause has never been found. My dad was absolutely devastated and a few weeks later shot himself. I found his body. I've been living with my grandparents ever since. No one knows what really happened that night. I spent half of my life with therapists. I hate myself. Have a severe depression. Attempted a suicide a while ago. I smoke weed almost every day. I'm in line for a promotion and have been working hard to get it. If my boss found out, there's no way she would give it to me. She hates weed and is vocal about it. It wouldn't be so much the weed, just that I didn't tell her. What secret could ruin my life? I secretly take off my hijab. On social media I wear the hijab. In front of all my parents. Other family. Most of my friends. I wear a hijab. Here's my story. When I graduated 2 years ago I decided to look for a job. And I wasn't able to land anything. I came up with the idea to start interviewing without wearing one. And once I get an offer I'd start wearing it again. I ended up getting 2 great job offers, which made me really sad that my theory of taking it off and easily finding a job was true. I took one and haven't worn it to work at all. I don't know what happened in the mix of things. I guess I started to like the attention men gave me and I actually felt like I belonged normal with my peers. It was a feeling I've never felt. Everyone started treating me different. As if I was worth speaking to. I don't get weird looks anymore. I don't get asked weird questions. I'm too afraid to tell my parents about it because of disappointment, and I'm even more afraid of the Muslim community finding out. Bullying and talking shit happens a lot to girls who take it off. I wear it to family functions. And when I'm at a place where I know I can run into someone I know. So yes, in essence I guess I am living a double life. Say what you want, I'm okay for now living like this. I keep changing my mind on what I permanent want to do.